So, good afternoon, friends. Today we will see a very interesting topic, and the topic is mistakes in trading and mistakes in investing. So, these are very common mistakes, and they are made by most of the traders or investors. So, first of all, we deal with mistakes in trading. So, basically, we are dealing with intraday trading here. So, first mistake that is done by most of the trader is no preparation is made. So the preparation is very important. Like if you want to take trade on Monday, on Sunday you should make the preparation. So you have to check the stocks which are bullish, which are bearish, and then you have to make a plan for the next day whether you will buy those stocks or you are going to short those stocks. So first and most important thing is preparation. The second thing is not having a proper stop loss. So whenever you buy a stock for intraday, the first and the most important thing is putting a proper stop loss. So don't wait for the target. Target you can decide later, but the first and most important thing is having a proper stop loss. Now to understand this thing of stop loss, we will see one example of Muthoot Finance trade which we have taken. So let's go to the chart and let's see how to put the stop loss and then how to make an exit in intraday trading. So here is the chart of Muthoot Finance and it is on 5-minute chart. So what happened in this stock that it fell from this level. Now if you can observe here, this was a good selling point for intraday, and this is similar to a bearish engulfing candle here. But we will discuss this trade as a buy trade here. Now what happened? The stock fell for so many minutes, and here we got a bullish engulfing candle. So this is 30th April and the time is 1:15 p.m. Now why at this particular level we should buy? The first and most important thing is it was a support in the previous level. So here also from this level the stock has gone up, and from this level also stock may go up. And second thing is that the candle is bullish. So this is bullish engulfing candle. Now how to put the stop loss? So you got this candle on 5-minute chart. Now the next candle you have to buy. So next candle, the buying price becomes your opening price. So opening price was 853. So we are going to buy this stock at 853 rupees, and stop loss has to be low of these candles, any of these two, because this being an important support area in the previous level. So what is the low of this candle? Low is 849. Here you have to check the low. So 849 is your stop loss. So almost you will lose just 5 points only. And how to set the target? Target will be all the resistances on the left side. So this would be your first target, this would be your second target. But see here, when our first target was achieved, the next candle became a bearish candle. So at the close of this candle, we will exit. So closing it at 860. So at 860, you might have exited this trade. So you got the 7 point in this trade. Okay. So this way you should have a fixed stop loss, and once the stop loss is hit, you should exit the trade. Now you would have waited for it to achieve more target also, but the candle here was a bearish engulfing. That's why we got only 1:1 risk reward ratio. Because see, our stop loss was 5 points, we got near about 7 points. So intraday trading this may happen, but if you would have waited, with the same stop loss, you would have got more income also. Like it has made the high of 874. It's not necessary you would have exited at high only. You might have exited around 870 or 865 or something like that. So this way you can put your stop loss and you can decide your targets as well. The stop loss is very important before going for the target. The first thing you have to put is the stop loss in the system itself. System itself means you can do the trade using bracket order. Means stop loss will be there in the system. Once it hits, the trade gets exited. Hope it is very clear. Now let's see another point. The third point is going against the trend. So most of the traders, what they do is they go against the overall trend of the market or overall trend of the particular sector. So whatever stocks you are buying, that particular sector has to be bullish or bearish. If it is bearish, you can go for shorting it, and if it is bullish, you have to go for buying. For example, from the last few weeks, pharma sector was bullish. So no need to go for shorting the pharma stock. But last 2-3 days, pharma sector is weak. Now you can find out the shorting opportunities. So this is what is called as a trading in conjunction with the trend. So if the trend is bullish, go for buying in that particular sector. If trend is bearish, look for the opportunities. But the most important thing here is you have to get the selling setup or buying setup in your chart. So you should study how the setup works, because for every trader the setup may be different. Someone may use moving averages, someone may use VWAP or RSI, anything. So you have to understand the trend, whatever is the trend, and according to trend, you have to be ready that whether you will buy in this sector or you will short. The next thing is that getting emotional, that is fear and greed. Like in the same trade which we have seen just now, we have got emotional at one point. Like here, our fear came because of bearish engine, and that's why we have exited the trade here. So if you have waited for it, it would have given more return. So instead of going for fear and trade, you could, in this case, you would have shifted your stop loss upside, like some gains you would have got. So how to overcome the fear and greed? That you can trail your stop loss up, and when once the trailing stop loss hits, you can exit or you may get more reward. Then next point is no proper risk reward ratio. Generally in intraday trading, you will not get always good risk reward ratio, but generally it has to be 1 is to 2. This risk reward ratio has to be 1 is to 2. Means if you are ready to lose 1 rupee, then you should at least get 2 rupees profit. And even if it is 1 is to 1.5, then also it's good, because in intraday trading it's very difficult to get 1 is to 2 risk reward ratio always. So it can be 1 is to 1.5, means you are ready to lose 1 rupee for the gain of 1.5. Then the next is no proper position sizing. Now as far as intraday is concerned, position sizing is very important. Now I will explain what is position sizing in detail. So let's understand what is position sizing. So position sizing is your stop loss will be a fixed stop loss will be fixed percentage of your capital. So it has to be fixed percentage of your capital. For example, if you are trading with 1 lakh capital for a particular trade, So you are employing 1 lakh capital. Now generally we keep 2% of the capital as a stop loss. Now what is 2% of 1 lakh? It comes around rupees 2000. So for this 1 lakh, you are going to take maximum risk of 2000 rupees. Now how to do the position sizing? Suppose any stock is trading at rupees 500 and buying setup came, and your stop loss is stop loss is 450 rupees. So how many points stop is there? It is 50 point stop, because 500 minus 450. So stop loss points is equal to 50, and you have decided to lose 2000 rupees on the capital of 1 lakh rupees. So that 2000 will be divided by 50 rupees. 50, because stop loss points are 50. So how many quantities you can buy? You can buy only 40 quantities in this. So this way you can decide how many quantities you can buy for the stop loss of 50 points. Now here the stop loss was just 5 points. Stop loss was 5 points. So if we divide 2000 by 5 in the trade of Muthoot Finance, so you might have what? 400 quantities. So 400 quantities, initially we got 7 rupees profit. So you got 2800 rupees profit. So this way you can decide your position sizing. Now this position sizing can be applied for investment as well. Same thing. Means how much you want to lose with respect to your capital. In this way you can find the number of quantities depending on the stop loss. So if the stop loss points are more, then you have to buy less quantities. If stop loss points are less, you can buy huge quantities. And the last and the most important point is using leverage for trading. Now leverage means broker provides margin like 10 times, some broker provides 20 times. So what happens when you have more margin, then you may end up in more loss, because you will buy more quantities. So that's why it is better to trade without leverage. Or if you want to trade with leverage, trade only those trades where you are sure that the stock will go up or down. So most of the time, because of, you might have seen that oil prices went negative, and most players there were, they bought futures options using leverage, and now they have become bankrupt. Now they are unable to pay whatever the charges broker is asking. Even some of the broker houses also went bankrupt because of negative prices of oil. So it is better to trade with whatever capital you have instead of using the leverage or the margin provided by the broker. Because I have seen most of the traders lose capital because they trade based on leverage. So better to trade with whatever cash you have in your hand. So this was all about trading mistakes. So first thing what you have to do is you have to make a good preparation a day before, that which stocks you will buy, which stocks you will short. And next thing is you should have a stop loss before placing order for buying or shorting. Then you should study the trend, whether it is uptrend or downtrend, and accordingly you have to take the trade. You can study the trend of the sector, or you can study the trend of the market for buying or selling. then fear and greed should not have any place. But obviously, it is natural for the human being to have fear and greed. But once you have stop loss and trailing stop loss, no need to worry whether your trade will go wrong or right. Then you should have proper risk reward ratio, as we have discussed. 1 is to 1 or 1 is to 1.5. 1 is to 2 is more better risk reward ratio for intraday trading. No proper position sizing. You should have position size, means the number of quantities you will buy has to be fixed based on your capital and stop loss. And don't use leverage for the trading. So these are the common mistakes, and we have seen the solution as well, what we have to do. Now let's see some common mistakes in investing. So I have came across many investors who are making some mistakes in investing also. The first is buying a 52-week low stocks. Actually, 52-week low is not the criteria to buy a stock for long-term investment. See, a falling stock goes on falling and the rising stock goes on rising. So instead of going for 52-week low stock to buy, you should go for 52-week high stock to buy, because 52-week high stocks will be better fundamentally, and 52-week low stocks generally they will not be very well fundamentally. And now you will ask, now so many stocks have come to the 52-week low, which are fundamentally good. Now, present situation is a particular situation because of coronavirus. In this case, this point is not important. Even if any good stock is hitting 52-week low, you can add the stock, but add after doing fundamental and technical analysis. That fundamentally it has to be good, and technically obviously it is a weak because it is hitting 52-week low stock. So at least it has to be fundamentally good stock. Then second mistake is done buying a penny stock like Reliance Communication, JP Associate, JP Power. These stocks are not moving since so many years. So instead of going for a penny stock, the price is not important. The valuation is also not important, even if it is overvalued stock. But if it is fundamentally and technically good, then you can buy a good quality stock. So instead of buying 50,000 quantities of rupee 2 stock, buy only 4 to 5 quantities of a better stock. So penny stock is not the way to earn in the market. But if it is a penny stock, if it is technically good, if it is fundamentally good, then you can buy it. But only applying the criteria that it is a penny stock available at 1 rupee, 2 rupee, it is not the criteria to be followed for long term investment. People think that 2 rupee stock after 1 week may become 4 rupees, but that is not the case. To move it from 2 rupees to 4 rupees, it means it is 100% return, and 100% return is not possible within a week. It will be in conditions very less number of times that may happen in a very rare cases. So better is, even if you are getting any penny stock, and people think that some penny stock goes on hitting upper circuit daily, and they think that this stock is good stock, but that is an operator stock. If it is hitting upper circuit daily, means operators are there. So what they will do, operator, you will buy a stock today, it will become again up, it will hit upper circuit tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you will not sell. You are thinking that it is hitting upper circuit daily, but one day will come and it will start hitting lower circuit. Now once it start hitting lower circuit, you have no chance to sell, and it comes to rupee 1, and then you get the chance to sell. So from 2 rupees it will come to 1 rupee, and then you will get the chance to sell. It means you will lose your 100% capital. So be careful about penny stock. You have to study it fundamentally and technically, then only you can buy a penny stock for long-term investment. And the third important thing is that no stop loss is placed. Now gone are the days when the people used to buy a stock for long-term investment and they used to forget it for many years. But that is not the market today. The market has become very volatile. Now market has become more dynamic. So many changes are taking place everywhere in the world around. So you should have a proper stop loss even if you are going for long-term investment. And once the stop loss hit, there should not be any second thought of carrying that stock for future. You have to exit once the stop loss hits. The second mistake, biggest mistake, is averaging a falling stock. So even if your stock is good, the criteria has to be you have to average a rising stock. So once it is rising, then you should average, not a falling stock. Like for example, if you if you have seen that people have averaged Tata Motors, Yes Bank many times, but still the price went on decreasing. Now the people are in a huge loss. So averaging has to be done in a rising stock, in a 52-week high stock when it pullbacks. Then only you can do averaging, not in a 52-week low stock which is continuously falling. Then the next one is following broker recommendations. Never follow broker recommendations for investing as well as trading. And you might have observed it, they are giving very false and fake recommendations which are not working, and people or investors are losing the money. And the sixth important point is no proper analysis. People buy because any friend tells them to buy, or any brokerage recommendation comes, or any news channel or business channel tells them to buy. But you should have your own analysis before investing in any stock for long term. Now, proper analysis means you have to do both fundamental as well as technical analysis of the stock. There has to be breakout on the technical side as well, because sometimes company manipulates the result and we check only fundamental, and based on fundamental we buy. Now why it is important to do the technical analysis? Because even if fundamentally strong, stock is fundamentally strong, it will take time to rise. But if you study technical as well as fundamental, means it is fundamentally good, and technically if you think it is bullish in near future, means within few days it is going to give its returns for many months to come. So technicals will help you whether stock will be bullish in near future or not. Like for example, if you see Maruti at 9,000 level, so at that level it was not technically so much bullish, but people have bought at that level, and now it has come to the half of that level. So it is very important, even if it is fundamentally good, the technical analysis will help you whether the fundamentals are really matching on the chart or not. Because some stocks will be there which will manipulate the result, and there will not be a buying, real buying coming in on the charts. So real buying has to come on chart, then only we will buy it for long term. And in this case, you have to remember that don't buy any stock for long term investment which is below 200-day moving average, which is trading below. Now, at present case, there can be exception because this is a particular case where every stock has gone down. So in this case, what you will have to do is you have to do fundamental analysis and see whether stock is good or not. Some people use only PE ratio to buy a stock. Now PE ratio is price to earning ratio, and it indicates whether stock is overvalued or overbought. So people are buying a stock whose PE ratio is very less, but this is not the good idea as per my experience. You have to do complete fundamental analysis, complete fundamental analysis of revenues, analysis of net profit, then EPS, then different ratios, and cash with the company. Okay, so this complete analysis has to be done. Do not depend only on P ratio. It is a bookish concept. There will be many stocks whose P ratio is very high, but still the stock is moving up and it is not overvalued. Even if you buy at high prices, it is making new highs. And the most important last point is people just buy the stock for long-term investment and they don't exit it at any point of time. But there has to be a good exit strategy. Now, exit can be based on fundamental analysis, it can be based on technical analysis. So, in technical analysis, if you want to exit based on technical analysis, I can take the example of IndusInd Bank. Like IndusInd Bank, how you would have exited this stock earlier if you would have taken for long term. For exiting the stock on technical basis, you have to check the long term criteria, means monthly chart or weekly chart. So let's check the monthly chart of IndusInd Bank. Now if you observe this is monthly chart of IndusInd Bank, then you will notice that this stock is taking the, every time it comes down, it takes the support of 21-day moving average or 20-day moving average. So this violet line is a 20-day moving average. Now where was the exit? Now see here, we got bearish engulfing, but this was not our exit point. But what happened? For continuously 3 months stock has gone down, so you have to be very careful. That second month only you would have got alerted that for consecutive 2 months stock is going down, because this has not happened here. It has happened, but it has taken the support of again 21 or 20 days moving average on monthly chart. But here what happened? It has gone 3 months down and it has breached the 20 days moving average here. It has closed below that. Okay, so this is the first point where you would have got alerted. Then the next thing is that it tried to go up, and second time it got again close below this 21-day moving average. Third time it got again close below. So third time when it gets closing below, then that is the point where you would have exited. Or even if you are waiting, then see here again for continuous 2 months it was trading below this 20 green this violet line, 20 days moving, and it is rejected 2 times by the same moving average which was supporting it. The first time it got rejected from here, see this violet line, and the second time also it got rejected from here. So this was the exit point near about 1500. You would have lost only 500 points by exiting here, but now you are losing more than that. So this way you can use either technical or fundamental analysis to exit the stock. So this is the way you can avoid the mistakes in trading and investing. Thank you for watching the video. Kindly subscribe our channel. We will come up with interesting articles or interesting topics. So like, comment and subscribe to our channel.